I slung the jacket over my arm. It fits and it's comfortable, and I want to get going. I'll take this one. It had been 7 years since my mother had passed through Sunridge, Wyoming, and left her message for me with an enchantment on the town monument. But I didn't want to wait a second longer than I had to before I found out what had happened to her after. Nate ambled over, a couple of rolled sleeping bags tucked under his brawny arms. His bare side came through in his tall, well-built body and his chestnut brown hair, but his expression when he looked at me was all gentle warmth. He might be a grizzly when we were under attack, but with me, he was a total teddy bear.
"Do you figure we'll be up there over at least one night, Wren?"
he said. His rich baritone voice never failed to warm me up, too. I'm not really sure, I admitted. We'd ended up here in Sunridge after following a trail of clues my mother had left me. When I'd touched the obelisk in the town square, I'd gotten a vision of her telling me there was something I needed to find up one particular mountain. Some kind of power she'd gone to retrieve 7 years ago. She'd never come back. I'd spent all those years with no idea where she'd gone or what had become of her. Really, getting some answers about that mattered more to me than any special powers. I could transform into a dragon, a big, fast, fire-breathing dragon. Wasn't that enough? The thought sent an anxious tremor up my arm. Before I'd quite realized what I was doing, my hand had snatched a metal carabiner out of a basket and tucked it into my sleeve. Damned pickpocket instincts. They always kicked in when I was nervous. I pulled it out and set it back in the basket with a flush of embarrassment, but thankfully none of the guys commented on my slip.
"It'll be better for us to bring more supplies than what we need than not enough,"
Aaron said to Nate. He was the most practical of my guys, which I appreciated a heck of a lot when I had so much still to learn about shifter abilities and limitations.
"Sleeping bags will be a lot more comfortable than just the blankets we've got in the SUV.
He turned, looking toward the 4th member of my Alpha squad.
"Didn't you say there's a tent in the trunk, West?"
The wolf shifter nodded, where he was lurking near the shop's front door. The sunlight streaming in caught on the silver strands mixed with his light auburn hair. Like his animal, he was all lean muscle, on display now with his arms crossed over his firm chest. West was frowning, but that didn't mean much. He frowned at pretty much everything, especially if it had anything to do with me. He'd made it very clear that he wasn't on board with this whole destined to mate with the dragon shifter idea just yet. I guessed I couldn't exactly blame him, considering the chaos that shifter tradition had apparently thrown the kin groups into when my mother had disappeared from the community with me 16 years ago. I wouldn't have minded him remembering that I'd had nothing to do with the decision to leave before he turned his gruffness on me, though.
"I'm not sure the tent we have is big enough for the 5 of us, but with the trouble we've had getting here, we'll probably want a couple of us on watch at any given time anyway," West said. "There's nothing to carry it with, though. We'll need to grab some packs. I'm assuming we're not going to be able to drive right up to this dragon shifter treasure."
His dark green eyes slid to me with that last sentence. "I don't know," I said. "This trek wasn't my idea. Believe me, I wish my mother had given us more detailed instructions, too."
"We're all following you in this, Sparks," he muttered. "Keep that in mind." "I think it's a safe assumption that we'll have to go part of the way on foot," Aaron broke in calmly. His practical side made him a good peacemaker, too. "And we'll want to pick up food for the trip, since we can't be sure of the hunting."